Tarte today. No, they're not sending me on a brand trip to the Seychelles. It's the next best thing. We have the, I think, limited edition actually, Trippinwithtarte eyeshadow palette. What, you thought they were sending me to the Bahamas? Yeah, well, they're not. But this palette celebrates all the creators that they have sent to places like Key Largo, Costa Rica, places I just mentioned. It basically celebrates a decade of viral adventures, they're calling it, in a $49 eyeshadow palette with a bunch of colors here. 12 to be exact, 12 new shades. We're going to look at a lip product too. We're going to do all this fun with Tarte today with me, Rebecca, on Not Fit for Print Beauty. I am a fashion and beauty editor and writer. I have spent well over 20 years in the trenches with some of the biggest names in our industry, writing about them, interviewing them, following them around, watching how they work. And that has given me the audacity and the confidence to bring Not Fit for Print Beauty right here to YouTube so you can have a little digital beauty magazine to look through every day or so. All right, well, let's get started. As you know, perhaps Tarte is not sending me. I've aged out of that. I'm going to say fortunately, which sounds like sour grapes. Trust me, it's not. But we, like I said, have the next best thing. For this smaller amount of money for high-end eyeshadow, we have $49 and 12 new shades in the Trippinwithtarte Amazonian Clay Palette, $49. We're going to play with it right now. We are going to look at this outside in the warm California sunshine. We're going to pair it with something else new from Tarte. This is the Maracuja Juicy Lip Tint. It's $27 and comes in 2 shades. I have so much to say about this already, and I got the shade Lolly. So we're going to kind of put this on and talk about it as we go. Let's take it outside first into the warm California sunshine and take a look at these while we're at it. So there is obviously the palette on my arm, and there's that lip tint in Lolly, one of the 2 shades on closer to my wrist. That's $27 for the lip tint and $49 for the eyeshadow. Real pretty neutrals, very neutral. Some of those shades lead a bit warm, some of them lead a bit cool, but it's very, very pretty. Now, I have to be careful when I hold this up because, of course, you know the chances here. One of the 12 was smashed to bits. I pressed it back in, but of course it is the darkest shade, and it is everywhere. So, yuck and ick. But there's a lot of drippy, messy things here. First of all, let's talk about Tarte. Tarte is really interesting to me in the fact that they are, and I always joke about it, really a prolific brand. I feel like they keep the people at Tarte in a room until they come up with 10 ideas, 9 of which are accepted and 8 of which are produced by the next day. They tend to use QVC sometimes as a little bit of a testing grounds for a lot of their palettes. And they have many different sides. They have kind of their tried and true stuff, like a lot of their concealers are tried and true by makeup artists and by those of us who appreciate good makeup. And then they have their really youthful side, which are these, trips, like I said, to these really amazing tropical locales where influencers, 20-year-old influencers in bikinis say nothing about the product, but do their own Instagram stories. It's an odd situation over at Tarte. I feel like they have their hand in so many pies, from being this really relied upon brand for complexion products and such to being this kind of crazy out there. I don't know. And I do pay attention to what they make because some of their products are amazing. They have a dual-ended lip product that I reviewed quite a few weeks ago with a marker kind of like stain on one side and then a colored gloss on the other. Stays on forever and is gorgeous. And of course, some of their concealers and foundations are, for a lot of us, number one in our heads for things we just reach for every day. And then other things they release that are frankly forgettable. Because they produce so much of it, they're kind of like a brand that just throws things at the wall, and if they stick, great, and if not, they got 4 more coming. They're really interesting that way. So, okay, we do have a bit of a messy eyeshadow palette here. That's not Tarte's fault. It just came broken, but it's in a really pretty kind of tropical looking to celebrate all of these Trippinwithtarte, this decade of, I guess they've been doing this for a year, and these 12 new shades are all inspired by the trips. So they have names of the shades like Costa Rica and Maldives and Hawaii, Turks and Caicos. So each shade is kind of named for a trip that they've taken with essentially ungrateful 20-year-old influencers. Again, that sounds like sour grapes, but you know it's not my scene. It's just kind of fun to talk about it. And I'm sure the people that have gone have had fun with it. I mentioned the double-sided Tarte lip product, which has a marker on one side and a colored gloss on the other. This is a little bit different. This Juicy Lip Tint only comes in 2 shades, and it is basically, let me just show you here. It is kind of a little bubble tip like this, but they tell you, and you click it, okay? Now you think gravity would be your friend here, and you'd want to turn it this way to click. They warn you not to do that because it will drip everywhere. Well, my goodness, for the swatch, I made sure to hold it upright like they said. It still ran all the way down the thing and all over my hands, which would make me very nervous to A, have this in my bag, or B, apply this somewhere where I can't clean up. Like a touch-up in a restaurant, if you were out for a lunch date of some sort, that could be a mess all over your clothes. It was that drippy. So let me be a little bit more careful with it and try it like I'm barely... The first time you do it, you know, you really have to pump to get the product out. So the first time you do it, just do it over a sink. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right, let's apply. Okay, so it is a watery stain. Okay, it's a thin watery stain. This reminds me of the Benefit Benetint. It does not remind me of Coolfee or yesterday in a video that I filmed yesterday, I did Violette FR has a new lip nectar, or YSL the inks. No, this is truly an absolute water stain. This reminds me of being a kid and having the lips that were stained from Kool-Aid. If you haven't had that experience, now you know. So it's absolutely water. This is going to dry and it won't have any sort of a shine to it either. So again, not the Coolfee, Violette, or YSL type product. I'm going to keep building it. And I have a few events to go to today, not for work. And I'll let you know my biggest fear on this, and this is something that Benefits Benetint does. Once it dries and goes away, you just get lines, and any lip line, even if you didn't think you had a lip line there, you just kind of get, it settles in. And that is horrific. So right now it just looks like I had a popsicle or a Kool-Aid, right? That's the look. So far, not my favorite product. Not particularly drying, because again, pay attention when I say it's like I had a popsicle. And when you have popsicle stain on your lips, they don't feel dry. Just everyone can tell you ate a popsicle. So maybe that's why this shade is called Lolly. Maybe it's like an ice lolly. All right, so we'll see where that goes, and I'll report right here if it started sinking into lines. I feel like it's going to. Don't you feel like it's going to? Okay, well, let's try on the Trippinwithtarte palette, Amazonian Clay. I have so many jokes that I like to share about Tarte. I say they're highly caffeinated over there, but one of the other things I like to say is that Amazonian Clay, I just don't buy it. Are they really what they're sending, interns to the Amazon to like scrape up clay and put it in a jar and come back? I don't know. All right, so let's see. Already, how many layers, when I was chatting with you, of that Maracuja Juicy Lip Tint in Lolly, how many layers did I put on? 8, 9? I just kept going, and already I can see it's really not in this part. See, it's lighter on the actual lip and darker around it. Might be pretty with a gloss over it, though. All right, well, let's go ahead and just do the same look on both eyes, because you don't have too much variance here. So I'll go into this kind of vanilla shade here. Oh, Costa Rica. Sorry, the light was shining off it. And we will put Costa Rica onto the eye. I'm working with Refer brushes. This is a 14 Max, in case you're curious. Very pretty. Keeping the same brush, because who wants brush laundry? Let's go into this shade here. The non-broken brown shade. You know, Tarte has done, you know, they also did those Man-Eater and Man-Eater After Dark. Remember those? Like around the holidays, those giant eye palettes, and they do really well with those. And some of them are nothing to be sneezed at. Some of them are really nice. So far, this brown shade here is hesitating on me, skipping, and a little bit hard to blend. So that is, and it's really funny because you never know what you're going to get with Tarte. As much as I kid about Tarte, I am not a Tarte hater. Some of their products, like I said, that dual-ended lip they just released, fantastic. And some of their concealers are top-notch. And some of their palettes are amazing. But this one, I did go ahead and blend that shade. What's it called? That's Jackson Hole. I had to take the palette out of the light that was shining off of it. This Jackson Hole color I did get to blend. I had to fight with it a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to put that same Jackson Hole shade outside. So if you were an ungrateful 20-year-old who went to a Trippin with Tarte and you didn't get the, I think Jackson Hole would be gorgeous. But if I were 20 and in a bikini, I'd want Turks and Caicos, right? Do you think they were disappointed that they got you? I wouldn't be. I think that would be delightful. I'm just saying, you know. Okay. Very pretty, very passable. A lot of, I don't do drugstore makeup. This is as close as I get because my channel does mid-level to high-end luxury makeup. Tarte is Tarte Too Faced. That's about where I get. A lot of you have said you really want some of these lower priced. Would I feel cheated if I got this for $49? No, I'm just telling you have to work with the shades a little bit more. Okay. All right. I am going to now take my finger over this shade right here. This shade right here, which commemorates the trip to the Maldives, and just put that all over the lid. Very pretty. That performs really nicely. Doesn't have any fallout. Oh, that's really pretty. Really, really, really pretty. Quite nice. Okay, and then just for good measure, just so I make sure we're seeing them all here, let's go ahead and put this kind of golden shade into the inner corner. See how that performs. Oh, the shimmers here, metallic-y shimmers, are very pretty. It's just that it looks like from what I can tell, the darker mattes are a little hesitant. You know, for $49 and a little treat to treat yourself, I mean, it's a really nice palette. It broke, but didn't get everywhere in the packaging because this is nice and steady. You know, I don't think they packaged it well enough when they sent it to me. But a very, very pretty, pretty palette. Not my favorite that Tarte has ever done, but for $49 in today's world, 12 brand new shades. Slightly hard to blend the mattes, but they eventually did bend to my will. I am telling you right now, I'm going to report back about this going into lip lines, but I think it already is. So this is a no-no. And they only made 2 shades of it. I'm going to tell you this one already. Yeah, this one already is not getting my stamp of approval. If you want to use it as a base layer and put a lipstick over it or a gloss over it, knock yourself out. But I think this is terrible. And the fact that I had to click up and kept it upright and it still initially just streamed down the pen and all over my hand is a no-no. But do yourself a favor. I'll link it in the description bar. Do check out that double-sided new from them with the marker on one side and the gloss on the other. Sensational. As bad as this one is, and I do think this product is no good, the other was great. In terms of this, if you were a fan of Trippin with Tarte and it's nostalgic for you and you like that $49 price tag and these very nice neutral shades, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this, but it's not like going to make my year-end best of or anything. And this lip, oh God, that's terrible. That is terrible. That is terrible. So a so-so review for Tarte. They don't care. By tomorrow, they'll have released 7 other new things. Honestly, it's just always kind of fun to check in with them and see what they're up to over at Tarte because they just must be exhausted. They work them very, very hard over there. I hope they have good snacks in the break room, along with the coffee they're obviously giving everyone who works there. They are very prolific, but bless them. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't get some good jokes in about Tarte, you know? That's how I feel anyway. All right, let me know what you guys think. Hey, make sure that you follow me over on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm on Threads too. Hey, Facebook, you can join us. We have a membership here on YouTube. It's $4.99 a month, but You get a live every week with me, and we try to make it fun and exciting. And I would sure love to see you there and have your company. We have a good time. I will have all of this stuff listed below in the description bar. And then where I can, I try to put it up here in YouTube Shopping on the screen. So you can click on it and kind of peruse it, look at it while the video plays, decide if you want to buy it. If you do purchase, it doesn't cost you a thing extra, but it does kick a teeny bit, a little bit of change back to me, which, you know, adds up, and I just spend it all on product like this stuff that I just bought to show you and share with you. It's not just about me yapping, it's about what you guys say too. So make sure you comment. I love to connect with you in the community. Thanks for being here today. Make sure that you share, like, and of course subscribe. Lots of new stuff coming up, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.